We're live. What is up, everybody? Edwin, the comic jabroni, coming at you. Today is the 13th of September. 2 days ago was New Comic Book Day. It was September 11th. And if you watched yesterday's video, I'm gonna give it a few seconds. Yo, what is up, Perry Comics, my man? What's up, man? So if you watched yesterday's video, you know that I picked up quite a few Marvel and Friday the 13th. It sure is, man. Happy Friday the 13th. Yeah. So as you know, I picked up quite a few Marvel and DC books, and there was some good stuff in there, man. Definite good stuff. So, but I also picked up a lot of indie books too, man, because Indy has been knocking it out of the park here recently, man. And it's not just one indie company that's been doing it. It's been quite a few of them that have just been putting out great books. Aftershock, Boom Studios, Action Lab, IDW, putting out great stuff. So the reason I'm going live today is, man, my schedule has just been so hectic with school. And then when I don't have school, I am student observing over at one of the local high schools here because I am trying to get into the teaching field. So really the days off that I have from actually going to school, I'm still at another school observing. So it cuts my time down to like this much. So I figured, you know what, let me go live. Let's talk about these books. Let's see what you guys picked up, and you could talk about it in the comments and we'll talk about these books. So we're going to start off with the books that actually came out last week that I had in my pull box, because last week's pickups it was a lot. So I decided, let me go ahead and put some of these in my pull box because they might be sold out next week when I come back, and then I'll grab them then, which I did. Another thing that we're going to do is, usually in my edited videos, I like to put the score in the top right or top left, wherever I put it, of what Comic Book Roundup has. So Comic Book Roundup is a website that I use a lot, and it uses scores from around the internet from critics, to score these books. And it can be a number between 1 and 10. I very rarely see a 10, and I have seen 1s and 2s occasionally. But another great thing, yo, what's up? Rod the Rican, my man. Thanks for joining, brother. Thanks for joining. Another thing about Comic Book Roundup is that us as, readers of comics, we don't have to be a critic. We don't have to be, a writer on a website or anything. We can go into this website and critique the book ourselves. We can give it a score. Who else we got in here? Oh, yo, Big O, what is up? Avoiding the crazies. Happy Friday the 13th, for real. Happy Friday. That's where I used to write before YouTube. So there you go, man. Comic Book Roundup, I think it is an awesome website, even if you don't use it for the critic scores, because even Wolf Warner talked about it yesterday in my video that, some of the critic scores can be skewed depending on, let's say, if DC or Image or Marvel is like sending them these books early and they want to, get on the good side of these bigger publishers. They're probably giving them better scores. Although I have seen in the past where some of these bigger books are getting bad scores because it's just a bad book, right? But you can use the user scores like myself. Yo, God Tank, what is up, man? Thank you for joining, brother. I am going live for my Image and Indie reviews today. I'm trying something new. This might be a Friday thing from now on because at this time, I've gotten home from school. There's like nobody else doing anything live on YouTube right now as far as comics go, I think. I didn't really look, but I figured, hey, while you guys are at work, you can use this as background noise, or if you're at the house just chilling, man, you can listen to Edwin the Comic Jabroni, huh? Dig it. So we're going to use Comic Book Roundup. First book I want to talk about that I picked up, this is from last week. It's from Aftershock, and it is Descendant, issue number 5. Guys, I've talked about this book quite a bit. I enjoy this read, conspiracy theory. You got these kind of like a cult that has been abducting these children. If you're into cults, I guess you're not into cults, but if you're into reading conspiracy theories, FBI, there's a lot of detective work. There's some action in here, I have to say. But this issue number 5 actually finishes out the first story arc, right? So issues 1 through 5 finishes the first storyline. I hope they continue. It kind of ends on a cliffhanger where, holy smokes, there's probably going to be another there's going to be Descendant, like series number 2, or they're just going to continue on and go, issue number 6. I really hope so. Descendant has been good. Let me see if I can actually find it, because this is from last week. I should be able to find it on Comic Book Roundup. Descendant, if I could spell too. Sometimes I'm not the best. Yeah, see, I misspelled it. I think we can go. So let's go ahead and. So there you go. I am on Comic Book Roundup, right? This is from last week, comic review. So if you go in here by publisher, man, they have every publisher. They have all of the books, almost all the books that came out last week, or really a lot of the books that matter the most, right? So if we go down, Aftershock right here, Descendant, we'll click on that and I'll let you see. So Descendant, issue number 5, written by Stephanie Phillips. Artist is Evgeny Bryankov. So this is the problem, though, with Comic Book Roundup, because you'll get a critic rating, but sometimes you won't get a user rating because whoever's reading the book isn't actually going onto the website and giving it a review. And I should probably do better about getting on here and reviewing, actually typing out a review for these books. But as far as critics go, there was 2 critics, and they talk about the book 7.0. So, not the worst, not the best, kind of right in the middle, guys. Let's move on to the next book that I picked up. And this is one that I had a lot of people ask me, like, why didn't you get this book, man? Why did you leave it back? And it's because it was damn $7.99 book, and I'd already picked up a bunch of stuff. So I didn't want to kill myself in my pocketbook, right? So that is going to be Spawn issue number 300, right? Writer Todd McFarlane, Scott Snyder is writing on here. Artist, there's a bunch of different artists on this. But I'm going to tell you the truth right now. I bought this, I picked it up, I started flipping through it, and I didn't read it. I couldn't. I wanted to get into Spawn so bad, guys. Here are the critics. Critics gave it an 8.6. Users are giving it a 9.1. So, that's pretty good. 9.1. If you go down here, you can see user reviews. 9.0. I hate these damn 9.0. This guy's giving it a 10, 10s, 8.5, 9.0. So, there's a lot of people that like it. I wanted to get into Spawn so bad. That's why I picked up 296, 297, because it gave you a backstory. But guys, I couldn't do it. Let me know. Am I crazy? Should I read this? I like this cover, though, the homage to Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 300, which I actually do have I have a copy of it. Yo, Comics Club Incorporated Afternoon Gents and Lurkers, thank you for joining us, my man. I'm just going over my Image and Indy pickups, starting with the ones from actually 2 weeks ago instead of this week, because there were some in the pool box that I didn't pick up last week. So, guys, Spawn 300, got to tell you, Comic Jabroni, I didn't read it. I tried. I flipped through it. It felt like a chore to me for somebody that's not, I haven't been in the Spawn game forever, just started about 5 months ago. I couldn't do it. Although I like this cover, right? The problem is Spawn has already done this cover. If you look back, Spawn 227, they did this exact same cover. The only difference is instead of the 300, it says 227 on it. And I want to say that there was a special Spawn thank you issue that came out a while ago, a couple years ago, and it was the same cover. So Todd McFarlane, my man, as much as I love your artwork, especially on Spider-Man, you got to change it up, right? This homage has been done plenty of times, and it's already been done on Spawn. So let's change things up, right? All right. So the next book that I picked up, this one came out this week, but it is a fourth printing of a book, and that is going to be Once and Future, issue number 1. Guys, this is the 4th print. What can I say? I love this. I love that cover right there. It gives you that whole Sword in the Stone feel to it. This from Boom Studios, incredible, man. Incredible read. I picked up the first print when it came out. What was that? A month ago or so. You can look back, and whenever I edit this video, I'll actually put, I think it's going to be up here. I'll put that video up. But I thought this was an incredible read. I cannot wait to read more of this from Kieran Gillen, Dan Mora artwork. But I didn't even know that I was getting this fourth print, to tell you the truth, because I remember calling my LCS. I remember calling them when the third printing went up for sale. And I said, hey, I want to order the third print. It hadn't come out yet. And they said, yeah, okay, we'll order it. But that was last week. And I actually didn't get it. They didn't have it, or it sold out, whatever it was. It didn't get put in my pull box. But this week when I went in, the first thing I always do when I go to my LCS, I go straight for the counter where they have everybody's subscription boxes. And he pulled this out. And I was like, whoa. Didn't think I was getting that, but I'm glad I did, because this is an awesome cover, guys. Let me know. Did you read? Have you picked up Once and Future? Did you read it? What'd you think of it? I think it's a classic story. I think it's going to be an amazing story, although we've only seen issue 1, right? So I'm saying things without reading any more of it. I hope it continues to build off of what we have seen on it. It is really great series so far. Yeah, God Tank, that cover. He says that cover is fire. It really is. I want to say that the third printing was better than this one, and the third printing had it had that guy on the horse, and it was like a dead horse, a skeleton horse. It was a red cover. It was almost he was all black, and he's up on the horse. I don't know. I don't want to make no noise and seem crazy. Y'all think, yo, the jabroni is nuts, man. But I think that cover was better than this one, but this one is fire too. It's crazy how the first printing, the cover was cool. You know, you had the guy in the background with the sword, and you could see it was like a mirrored effect on there. It had the older woman, the man, but it wasn't as an awesome cover, a badass cover like this third print or the fourth print was. I thought those were incredible. Let's keep it going. So we're gonna go with new books that came out this week. This is another one that I haven't read, but I have my reasons. I have reasoning. Yo, Bake the Snake, what is up, my man? Thanks for joining, brother. I am going live to show off my image in Indie Books, as I just didn't have the time to record a video and edit it and upload it. So I at least wanted to get out there and show you guys what I picked up. So this is from Robert Kirkman, and that's going to be Oblivion Song, issue number 19. So the reason I have not read issue 19 is because I have not been able to find issues 10 through 16 or 17, right? I did an AOK book club with John's Comics with Kids and Perry Comics, where they AOK'd me the trade for issues 1 through 6. I read that trade. Absolutely. Oblivion Song, right? That's what I said. Yeah, Oblivion Song, man. So I fell in love with it, man. I thought the story was incredible. The artwork was great. Yo, Wolf. Yo, my man. So I thought the artwork was incredible. The story was great. I cannot wait to read more. So what I did was I went to a local comic shop and I picked up issues 6 or 7 through 9, 7, 8, 9. I couldn't find issue 10. But John said that he had found an issue 10 for me and he sent it to me, so I'm behind. I've read up to issue 9, but I haven't been able to read anything after that because I'm missing issue 10. So it pains me to have this issue along with maybe the last month or two. It hurts my heart, man, not to be able to have those issues, guys. Have you read 7, 8, 9? Yes, it did. Have you read Oblivion Song, guys? And what do you think of this story? I know there's a bunch of people out there that are absolutely loving this story. This has the feel of a TV, a new TV series. And I'm wondering if Robert Kirkman kind of, I don't know if we could say like he quit on Walking Dead, or he's now wanting to focus on this story, right? Because Oblivion Song is, as far as what I've read issues 1 through 9, and it's great. I'm hoping that it continues on. I wanted to show you well, you know what? Let's, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Comic Book Roundup. Although I haven't read it, let's see what others are saying about about this. And my man, Borinquen Comics, que lo que hay, que lo que hay. What's up, man? So we'll scroll down to Image. I know Wolf Warner was talking about how he uses this website a lot. He actually writes, Wolf Warner writes for this website, right? Like he's a user and he goes on there. Like I was telling you guys, you should do that. Go on for books. Oblivion Song is actually not on here. That sucks. And that's the problem sometimes when you get Independence or Image, although I do not believe Image is an indie. They don't sometimes they don't show up on here, which is super weird, man. What do we got? Comic Book Club, the Comics Club. Kirkman was good enough to send retailers trade issues 1 through 6 before the book hit the shelves. Loved it. I'm telling you, I loved it too. Just a Rican and his comics working here, but had to watch my CTT member. Thank you so much for everybody that joined me. I'm going to be probably doing this on Fridays from now on, depending on Marvel, DC, Image, Indies. I might switch it up from week to week, right? So next week, I might do an edited video that drops on Thursdays for Image and Indies. And then Fridays, I do a live video that will talk about DC and Marvel. Let's see how this goes. Let's see the feedback that I get on these videos. I'm not very good at doing live videos, guys. I get tongue twisted. That's why I have to edit my videos, because my videos are probably like 30 minutes long when I record them, and then I cut them down to maybe like 22 because there's 8 minutes of me just like fumbling over my words and talking shit. I mean, talking stuff to myself like, what the hell are you saying, man? So anyways, he called Image an indie. I heard it. No, Image is not an indie. Image is its own thing. It is almost at the level of DC and Marvel. Rod had to sneak over, see if Road of Bones is on Jabroni's list. Let me tell you, Road of Bones is not on the list, although Road of Bones didn't come out this week, right? I think that one is done. So we're going to move on up to Action Lab. This is a story that I've talked about a bunch, guys, and that's going to be Banjax. This is issue number 4 of Banjax. This is the finale of the first story arc, right, of season 1, or what Ryland Grant says is season 1 of Banjax. There will definitely be a second series, or season 2, as he likes to call it, because he's also a writer on Aberrant. I think it's Aberrant or Aberrant. And the way he breaks that down is he'll finish a story arc and it's like considered season 1. And then he'll start off with season 2. But man, Banjax has been incredible read. Right now, we're looking, critics are giving it 9.5. There are no user ratings on it, which, like I said, a lot of these indie titles don't get user reviews. People just aren't reading it and review, or they're reading it and they're not reviewing it on the website. I'm reviewing it on a YouTube video. I don't want to give it a numbered score, but I will say that it has been incredible. You should definitely go out and pick up issue 1 through 4. That's the first season of it. And it's about this superhero kind of late in his career who's found out that he has this terminal illness, right? Like cancer that is throughout his whole body, and he's going to die. The doctors have given him 6 months, and he has decided to put the superhero cape back on and go protect his city. Oh crap, I forgot to send an ad. I saw Jabroni. It was a monthly whiskey box. Oh my God. I would love to get into a monthly whiskey box, kind of like they do with the comics, your mystery mail call. I'd love to get into something like that. So Banjax, the guys decided to go back out, and with the little time that he has left, he's going to save his city or clean the city up. The thing is that while he was at his prime, he kind of had a sidekick, right? And the sidekick's name was Gyro. And after he had quit, Gyro kind of takes the helm, right? So kind of like a Batman and Robin type deal. When Bruce Wayne's not around, Dick Grayson kind of takes the helm as Batman. Well, this guy has taken the helm of the greatest superhero in this city. But this guy's come back and he's doing things his own way. He's not taking any crap from anybody. And now in this issue, in Banjax issue number 4, you actually get the finale, the fight between Banjax and Gyro. The artwork is amazing. It is done by Fabio Alves. I think it's Alves. And it's been incredible. I cannot wait to read season number 2, because this ends kind of like on a cliffhanger. Like there's more to come. You see it coming. I don't want to tell you how the fight ends up, but it is a really great series, guys. Any of you reading this? Any of you reading Banjax? Or am I the only person on YouTube that's reading Banjax? I would hope that Wolf Warner is reading Banjax. That dude loves indies more than he loves anything else. So I would hope he is reading that. Let's see. Let's continue on. We're going to go with Dark Horse. So while I'm getting this, how's everybody's Friday? Happy Friday the 13th. Happy Friday the 13th. What do you guys got going on this weekend? So this is the next book. We're going to talk about Black Hammer, Justice League, issue number 3. This is the, I think this is just the A cover. The problem with these is there's like 4 or 5 covers that come out with it. They're not incentives or anything. They're just regular variants. But I like this one the most. And I think Rod the Rican's going to appreciate that. You know, you got Flash on there. So Black Hammer, Justice League, it's been a pretty good read, and it has definitely gotten me into wanting Banjax Rocks underread. Definitely underread. Thank you, Wolf Warner. I'm not the only lunatic on YouTube. So what did we got? We got an 8.0 critic rating, an 8.3 user rating on Black Hammer. So definitely above average on that. What can I say though about it? You have a split between the teams. You got the Black Hammer team, and then you got Justice League team. And because of things that happened in issue 1, they have swapped places. So now the Justice League, the bigger Justice League members, you got Batman, you got Superman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and I want to say one other, I can't remember who, but they have been transported to the farm that the Black Hammer team is usually at. And then Black Hammer gets swapped over to the DC universe. So what happens in this issue? You got the remaining members of the Justice League that are in the DC universe. They are kind of questioning Black Hammer. Like, where the hell is the rest of our team at? Where the heck are they? So you got kind of just an interrogation of each member of Black Hammer. What I will tell you about this series is it has gotten me interested in reading more Black Hammer. I want to know more about this team and this universe, man. What is it about this farm that they're at? They can't leave. What I know from just reading this this tie-up issue is that Black Hammer is stuck on this farm that they can't leave. They've tried. They actually sent one of their members out, and he dies, right? He gets killed. You cannot leave this farm. And time is different there. They have probably spent 10, 20 years, but it hasn't felt that long. They really can't remember their past that much. Things are kind of mixed up for them. I'm enjoying it. I don't know. I think it's probably just a 6-part mini-series on it, but it's been good and definitely has gotten me. What do I got over here? I actually got A-okayed, the trade. This is the first trade for Black Hammer, and I think it's issues 1 through 6. You know what really sucks? What does Boninkin comment say? If you ever submit one of those watermark covers to CGC, you will have the one and only. What watermark cover? I don't know what he's talking about. So he's going to have to tell me what that means. Perry, you can't trash Banjax. You buy Xena. Edwin, did you read the tie-ins for Absolute Carnage Ghost Rider? I did not. Perry, Xena. There you go. Xena, Warrior Princess. I don't get that either. That's a Perry and Rod thing because their main man is always on the artwork on that. So Black Hammer, funny thing was, I remember when the series first started, right? I remember the Wednesday that it came out. I remember it being on the shelf, and my dumbass didn't grab it. I was just like, I don't know. This doesn't look interesting. I flipped through it, but I didn't really read it. I just kind of flipped, and I'm an idiot. I should have picked it up, right? Because I remember going back the next week, and there were still some on the shelf. People didn't get into it either. Like I was not the only one. So I wish I would have bought it, man, but didn't. But at least I got A-OK. Thank you. I think it was that comic book homie. He A-OK'd me this that trade. So I can't wait to dive into that. But I will tell you that this definitely deserves that 8.0 to 8.3. It's not a 9, but it's not anything lower than an 8. It is definitely worth the time. I bet you that you can go to your LCS and go pick up issues 1 and 2 of this and still find this on the shelf, guys. It's a great Black Hammer fan since day one. Of course you are, Wolf Warner, because you buying everything. You were almost up to the level of the comic book villain, but you ain't there. Like, you and him are like here and here. What a read. I can't wait to get into that. I'm definitely super, super excited. How does Perry say? Super cool, super cool, super cool. So next up on the list, this is from Red 5 Comics. I hope that this is actually on Comic Book Roundup, because like I said, man, sometimes they don't do, like, and Wolf Warner was talking about it, man. You won't see some indie reviews on here. There's a lot, but not all of them. And of course, it's not on here, guys. God dang it, that sucks. Anyway, so it's gonna be Dark Age, issue number 2. So issue 1 came out a month ago, and I reviewed it. I enjoyed it. And what do I got to say? I enjoyed issue number 2, right? The world, something happened in the world where all the metal like disintegrated. Yeah, the Dark Age. Dark Age number 2, Handfield writing. Rodriguez is on the artwork. I dig this cover. It seems like anytime you ever see like a post-apocalyptic type of world, even in video games or movies, TV shows, it's always the Lincoln Memorial that gets messed up, right? I see that a lot. Where was another one that I saw? It was on a TV show that was on The Man in the High Castle. That's another one where like they go in and destroy the Lincoln. I think it was the Lincoln Memorial, man. But what's another movie? What's a big movie that we've seen was Planet of the Apes, right? The one that came out in like 2000. Not the greatest movie, but at the very spoiler alert, at the very end, they have changed the Lincoln Memorial into a big ape, right? So it's always the Lincoln Memorial that gets messed up. Fallout 4, there's a mission where you have to grab something from the Lincoln Memorial, I think it was. I mean, it's crazy. So anyways, kind of post-apocalyptic as far as there's no more metal in the world. Now, these people the people that are left in the United States have kind of split off into different groups. You still have your Native Americans. Then there's this, the United Empire of America that's trying to make a comeback. And this group of individuals has figured out a way to make guns again, right? Because guns are made of metal. All the guns disappeared. All the bullets disappeared, or they disintegrated. So this team, no more metal. Got to listen to country. You got to listen to. No, what is that? I don't know what that is. I'm crazy, man. No more metal. This gives you a little bit more of a backstory on what's going on with this world. I can't wait to read more of Dark Age. But again, what kills me about indie books is I'm not exactly sure if it's an ongoing or if it's just going to be a 5 or 6 part miniseries. It drives me insane. And if you guys know, let me know. There was a book that I left on the wall this week because Perry Comics kind of talked me out of it, which I'm glad he did. I really can't remember what it was now, and it obviously wasn't even that big of a deal to pick it up then. But he's like, I think it was Scout. Was it from Scout Comics that they're making miniseries to try to get option for TV shows? And he's like, that's going to be a miniseries. Like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore with these miniseries, because somebody else was talking about how a lot of these miniseries that come out, you pay the regular price for them, and then a year or two later, they're dollar books, man. You can find the whole series for $5 or at the most $10. You can buy the whole series for $10. So it's better to pick them up and trade. And I agree with that sentiment. One of the only ones that really, you can still pay a lot for, right? God Country. That's what they're going to say. Donny Cates, God Country. That was a 6-part miniseries. Yeah, you're always going to find that outlier. There's always an outlier. That 6-part miniseries like that, issue number 1, the first print, that's in a 9.8. What is it? $100 book. And actually, we could probably go to eBay while we're doing this. This is the beauty about going live, guys. We could just look up stuff while I'm talking. Now I know what how Perry loves this stuff, man. So God Country 9.8. God Country in a 9.8. Let's show you what we're looking at. Doesn't look like I can share this screen. Let's share this one. There you go. So God, Country, there you go. 9.8, $150, $149, or best offer. Buy it now for $149. But as always on these, you want to go to sold. Let's see how it's done. That's the B cover is going for 100. There is a 9.8 and a PGX, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of PGX. If you are, hey, good for you, but not me. I'm a CGC guy. Let's see, 9.8. I don't see any A cover. There's one. That's 175, but that's a first and a second print. Here's a best offer accepted, 9.8 for 190. I don't know what the best offer was. So we tell Comic Book Club, we tell customers all the time to be careful about some of these hot indies. Yes, be careful. Die is a hot indie book. We have no idea where that's going to go, but it's been trending. It's still trending upwards, I believe, on Die, but not every single image number one or indie number one is going to like be the hottest seller of all time, right? They're not all going to be Walking Dead issue number ones. And there are people out there that have overpaid for Walking Dead, right? There was a time when that was a $10,000 book, I think, at a 9.8. And I don't think that's a $10,000 book anymore. So I don't know. Take it what you will. What I will tell you is Dark Age, it's a great story. It kind of takes you back to how things used to be in the 1800s, 18th century, 19th century America. Except people remember how the world used to be when there was computers and TVs and all this other cars and airplanes and stuff, right? Are you reading Excellence? Borinquen Comics asks, am I reading Excellence? I am loving Excellence, man. And I've talked about it on past review videos that it is a grittier, darker, although Harry Potter. Although, Harry Potter in its own right was a dark story, man. But Excellence is awesome, man. I'm all about that magic type of world. They've set things up a little differently as far as how the wands work in there, and you can get fake wands, and they're more of protectors for people that are these magicians are protectors of people that are deserving. They still haven't really gotten into who's deserving. I can't wait to read more of that. But every issue that you get, I think Excellence issue number 5 or 6 comes out next week. They haven't talked about that, so I'm hoping that they build on it. But Excellence is an excellent series. Oh, man, the jabroni is insane. So what is our next book? I got 2 left, guys, 2 left. My daughter gets off the bus at around 3:15, 3:20 Central Time Zone. So we're going to try to get through these 2. And if you guys got any questions, if you have any questions for me, definitely ask, man. I'm here to talk about comics, talk about really anything. How's your Friday going? My Friday's okay. Went to class, came back, and I'm ready to talk comics. God Tank, I'm a Potterhead for sure. Yeah, I have read all, 7 books of Harry Potter. I've watched all the movies, or was it 8? Somebody has to tell me. 7 or 8. I have read all the books. I remember when that first came out, and the first movie, or maybe the first 3 movies came out, and I was like, what the hell is this? But it was that Prisoner of Azkaban that got me into it. I remember watching that movie without ever knowing anything else about Harry Potter, but I watched Prisoner. Did you get the free comic book day for Dark Age? No, I didn't. I wish I would have, but I think when that book came out, I was actually at drill weekend. So how my LCS does the free comic book day, about the week before, you can fill out a form, right? They have all the free comics that are going to be coming out. And if you're a subscriber, or if you bring in your kids, you bring in your spouse, they let you have a certain amount of the books. And as a subscriber, I can get 5 free books. And that wasn't, I'm going through the list, and I'm picking out books that, I have interest in. Like the Turtles book came out then. And if there's a Justice League or a Batman type of book, I'm down to get that. But I wish I would have grabbed that Dark Age. Although I think it was just a preview of issue number 1, right? So I picked up issue 1, so I got the story. But anyways, let's get into one more Image book, and that is going to be, let's share the screen. That's going to be Reaver. Reaver issue number 3, 8.2 critic rating. If you go down if you go down into the critics rating, right, 9.8, 9.0, 8.0, there's a 6.0. Reaver number 3 come rushing onto shelves this week like a raging fire, and that is no exaggeration. The problem is you're going to have to go into the full review to see, because that looks like it would be a better than a 6. But I enjoyed it, man. Oh, is that a 6.0 or a 6.0? I don't, hey, Rod the Rican, it's a 6.0, brother. I don't want to confuse you. All right, there's no O like Ocasio, O at the end of that, right? Oscar. That's a 6.0. So, Reaver, guys, I'm enjoying it, but I don't know if I'm going to give it any more time after maybe issue number 4. Yo, Jim Boatwright, what's up, my man? Thank you for joining, my man. Sean Daly, Drew TMNT. Reaver seems like it will be better read as a trade. You were probably right about that, Big O. I think it's probably going to be better as a trade if you didn't find issue number 1, which I know was hard for people to find. I actually didn't even find issue number 1. It was A-okay to me. 6.0, I dropped it. I read issue 1 and 2 for John's review a few weeks ago, and I hate it. I'm not going to say I hate it. I like it. I just don't like it as much to keep it on my pull list, right? I guess there's a difference, right? There's so many books out there that I absolutely love and I like to read, but you got to be great to get on my to get in the pull list, to pull box. And there's books out there that aren't even that great that I'm picking up, like Batman, who's written by the one that must not be named. It's not that great, but it's Batman, man. It's Batman, so I got to pick up Batman. Let me get something to drink. I don't know how Perry does this for 2 or 3 hours, man. My jaw is all tired and shit. I'm ready to take a nap after this, and it's hot as hell in this room. The man cave has one fan, right? This man cave I have here in my house is it's a pretty big damn room. I think it's bigger than the master bedroom, man. I got really lucky. This is like a 8-foot by 12-foot room, and all I have is a fan in the middle. And for some reason, the central AC in this house, it like doesn't hit this room as much as other rooms in the house. It kind of sucks. But listen to me. There's people that are living on the streets, man. I apologize. So yeah, definitely Reaver. I'm gonna give it one more issue, guys. I like the whole aspect of it. Kind of feels Game of Thronesian with a Suicide Squad type, right? They're going on this mission. Instead of bombs in their heads, they have this poison that they ingested that they didn't know. And the man that they're on the mission with, this wizard or magician, whatever the hell he is, he has the antidote, right? And he has to give them the antidote every, 6 to 12 hours, or they're going to die, right? And you kind of actually see it in this issue where one of the guys, it's right up until the time where he needs to take it or he's going to die, and he starts like foaming at the mouth and going insane. It's cool. This issue, they go inside this fort that they're on their way to. They get in this fort because they need the head of an officer, an intelligence officer. They're not going to interrogate him or nothing. They need to kill this dude and cut his damn head off, which happens in this issue, man. And it's insane. So it's getting better, right? The first 2 issues, you might think, it was slow. It's a little boring. I'm not sure, but damn, man, I like this issue better than I liked issue number 2, because you get that action and the dude gets his head cut off, and then you don't find out what they need the head for. They have to give the head to this magician at the very end. They're like, what do you need it for? So in the next issue, we're going to find out. But it's an intelligence officer, so I'm guessing instead of interrogating him, they're just going to take his brain and find out. The other day, I saw a copy of an exclusive Loot Crate reprint of Detective Comics 27. I thought that was something you might want to buy. Ooh, I'd have to check. Would that be a 12-ounce Coke or a 20-ounce? 20-ounce. 20. What's a 12? This right here? This is a big old 36-ounce, man. Whatever the can is, I need a tall boy. Oh, there we go. 3 hours with a blazer on. I go through like 3 waters and a Coke. Yeah, dude. You're crazy. Perry staying up that late, and I don't drink Coke, or I guess I don't drink regular Coke. So other than Borinquen Comics, anybody else reading Reaver? Or are you just gonna pick it up and trade? I'm gonna give it one more issue. I want to find out what the hell they need that officer's head for. That's tough. Whatever the can is, I need a tall boy. Yeah, man. Drink that soda. Sometimes I see you drinking that what are those, like Monsters or something like that, right? And the Monsters. I just stick with the water or I drink coffee. I'm a coffee lover, man. Coffee is my thing. So my Indy, let me look at the Indy books. I think my Indy read of the week is going to be this next one. I'm gonna pull it up real quick on Comic Book Roundup before I actually show it to you. And I've been talking about this book for a while now because I got lucky to have actually picked up issue 1 and 2. But that's going to be Kanto, issue number 4, written by David Booher, and the artist is Drew Zucker. Anything I should be looking into Indies next week? Well, there's this show, Borinquen Comics, on Tuesdays. It's called Buy or Pass, and it's usually on Rod the Rican's channel, or it's always on his channel. And that's where we talked about the picks for next week, man. I haven't actually looked at what's coming out next week. Kanto is good so far. I like it. That's what James Tomlinson says. Yeah, man, it has been, in my opinion, one of the better reads as far as indies go. IDW is putting this out. I need to start using what Perry uses to get these advertisements out of there. So it's got an 8.5 from the critics. Let's see how many critics. We got a 9 and we got an 8.0. Word of the Nerd, Brent Jackson. Kanto 4, plain and simple, very well done comic book. Pacing is perfect for 6-issue story. Everything felt like it fit story-wise with what was happening in the issue. So, guys, if you had, by the time the show comes up, I already went, oh, that's right. Borinquen, his books get to him, or he picks them up the night before. So all of us unlucky bastards got to pick them up on Wednesday, and he's a lucky SOB, picks them up on Tuesdays. You are a lucky guy. What can I say about Kanto, though, right? So everything I just said about 6-part miniseries, and I'm done with that crap, and I don't want to pick that up. But when I picked the first 2 issues up of Kanto and I read them, dude, it pulled at my heartstrings. I absolutely fell in love with this story, and I fell in love with that little dude right there named Kanto. He doesn't have a heart anymore. He has a clock for a heart, and he is on an adventure to go find the heart of the woman he loves. What's cool about Kanto is they're kind of giving you 2 stories, right? There's obviously the main story of Kanto on this adventure to try to find this wizard who has the heart of the woman he loves. But they're giving you another story of an actual, like, this kid who might be Kanto in another life, right? So it's a great story. What I've said about this book with issues 1, 2, and 3, yeah, Wolf, Kanto is good. God Tank, who's trying to get that Jane Foster Valkyrie? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to look that up. After this is done, we're going to look up some stuff on Midtown. I hate Midtown, but damn it, they got the books coming out next week. But Kanto is a story, a comic book story that I see for sure get made into a movie, right? But not any type of movie, more of the lines of one of those stop motion animation movies like Coraline or Nightmare Before Christmas, right? This is a story that kids, I would want my kids to sit down and watch. It's just a great adventure story, man. But it pulls at the heartstrings because this little dude, he's out there on a mission, man. And he has this beast, right? If you see this guy right here, this animal beast with him. You find out in the first issue that there's more of these kind of beasts out there, and they eat his kind. But this one, he's older. This beast is older, and there might be something wrong with him, but he has befriended Kanto, so they are on this adventure together. Yeah, dude, definitely stop motion would be the best for this. And this is a movie that I would see my kids like watching a trailer for and saying, "Daddy, I want to watch this movie. Take me to the movie theater to go watch that." Cool story. So this is issue number 4, just came out last week. I think the second printing to issue 3 came out this week as well. If you haven't been able to go out and actually find the first 2 issues, it might be a little hard. It might be hard to find. Don't overpay, guys, right? Don't go on eBay and pay whatever it's going for. Wait for the trade. This is a story that you're going to want to definitely read. As far as indies go for next week, I got to talk to Rod the Rican and see about next week's buy or pass. Spoiler alert, Edwin, the comic jabroni, may or may not be able to be on that show next week. I have to take my daughter to soccer practice, and her soccer practice kind of runs up until the show comes on. But we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out when we figure that out, right? So let's sort. I need 2 screens, man. I need more. I need to be more like. I need to be more like Perry Comics, man. Boat Ride, yeah. So what issues Canto up to? Like I said, it's up to issue number 4. So let's get into. See, I always got to stop, guys. I'll figure this out. This is just the first episode of this. I apologize. Thank you for watching, man. As always, guys, I appreciate all the love that I get on YouTube. So Independence, Adventure Fine. I don't know anything about that. I'm not an Archie reader. Archie versus Predator. There was an awesome A or like a B or C cover for that came out with issue number 1. I didn't pick it up. I saw it at my LCS. So let me know, anybody reading Archie. If you are, that's awesome. Let me know. Is it good? Like this cover right here, man. That's a kind of cool cover. You got Archie. I'm guessing that's Archie. He's got Predator's head cut off. That's super cool. Super cool, as Perry likes to say. Aspen Universe Decimation number 1. I don't know a damn thing about that series from Aspen Entertainment. Blade Runner, I've heard great things. I'm probably gonna get some thumbs down for this. I'm not a Blade Runner fan. I have tried to watch that movie, right, with Harrison Ford, like 3 or 4 times, and every time I just can't get through it, man. I'm bored. I die of boredom on that one. I have never been able to get through that movie. Yo, Immortal Biggie Shack, what is up? Just going through some of the indie books for next week. I went through Immortal Biggie Shack. I went through my Image and my indie books. What I picked up on Wednesday, kind of gave a review. We went through Comic Book Roundup just to see what critics. It's a good flick. For some people, it is, right. It's one of those cult classics. There's movies that I probably think are awesome, and that some people are like, Edwin, you're effing insane. Bloodborne, have not been picking that up. That's already up. This is Butcher Queen number 1 from Red 5. There you go. That is the same publishing company as The Dark Age. Limit 1 per customer, guys. So if you want it, get on there and get it. I have never picked up any of these like Cave Woman or any of these type of books on Midtown that show like they have to be censored, right? And I've asked my LCS, do you guys ever get these books? And they tell me, no, man, you pretty much have to order. Like, if you tell us that you want it, we'll order 1 copy for you, but we don't put it up on the wall. The gun's the best part besides Ford. Yeah, man. Wayne, it makes more sense if you read the book first. Oh, but that sucks. That movie's been out since what, like 1980 something? And the comics just came out, man. Yeah, there you go. Comics Club. We only special order them. Libro Bellaco. You're crazy, man. Dark Age number 1, second print coming out, man. So if you didn't get on that Dark Age, you got a chance to pick up the second print. Doesn't show you what the cover image is going to be. I hope it's brand new cover art. Like these Fathoms, not into that either. Michael Turner cover on those. Firefly. Forever Maps number 1, have no idea what it looks like, but it's sold out already. So anybody know anything about that? Scout Comics. Let's see. Grumble number 10. I know Perry Comics, dude. He talks about this book all the time. He might actually be one of the only ones, other than Wolf. I know Wolf Warner's about to get on here and go, yo, Grumble's the best. But Perry, I know, talks about Grumble all the time. Killers, I didn't get into it all. Let's load some more. Have I gotten to 1 book that I said next week I'm going to pick up? No, I have not. I have not. Once in Future, there's a 5th print. This one, here we go. First one, Once in Future, number 2. They still have it available on Midtown, which is insane because I know the other ones are always sold out. 1st through 5th printing, they're already sold out. If you go up here, look at this. 5th printing for number 1 is sold out. It's a wish list. But if you go number 2, it's still on there, man. This cover is dope too, man, with the old woman holding that sword, King Arthur's sword, and you see the reflection on the sword. I hope you guys you picked up that issue number 1, whatever print. Pick it up and read it. It's a great story. What do we got? Don't read that. Psylords. Nope, I'm good. Rick and Morty. I'm a Rick and Morty fan as far as a TV show, but I've never really gotten into the comics. I might have like 2 or 3 of the comics, but I never got into it, man. Let's see. Robotech, Sabrina, Second Coming. Here's one that I'm actually going to drop. I picked up issues 1 and 2. I enjoyed them, but I didn't enjoy them enough to continue on. I thought issue number 1 was effing hilarious, right? And it was hilarious enough, and I loved it enough to pick up issue number 2, and then issue number 2 kind of dropped off. And it feels like they're trying to push an agenda on you. I don't know. Not my thing. I thought it was going to be better than that. Here we go. From Mad Cave Studios, Show's End number 2. I will definitely be picking that up. I liked issue number 1. I thought it was a great read. Sister Powers from Keen Spide Entertainment. I don't know a damn thing about that. You guys are going to have to tell me. Doesn't seem like Daniel Arzola. What is up, man? Thank you for joining me, brother. We're just going through Midtown and just seeing what's coming out for Indy. Since I went over my Indies and my Image books that I picked up on Wednesday, figured, hey, let's look at Midtown, see what's coming out next week. Something is Killing the Children, 3rd print. If you didn't get the 1st or the 2nd print, this is your chance to pick up the 3rd, but not on Midtown because they sold out, right? If you see the red over here, that means they are sold out. Sold out. Guys, is there anything that I've passed over other than Once in Future and that Show's End that you guys are going to be getting? Oh, and somebody's home. So there we go, guys. If you want to see more of what I'm going to pick up on Wednesday, stay tuned for Buyer Pass on Tuesday. Or if I can't make Buyer Pass, I will definitely I'll definitely have a Tuesday live show around noon or 1 just to talk about the books, man. So, guys, thanks for watching. This has been my new Comic Book Day pickups and review video for Image and Indie books. Next week, Friday, I'll be back on same time, around 2-ish, and we'll do maybe DC and Marvel, right? Maybe every week I switch it up. I want to talk to you guys about all the books that are out there. Daniel Arzola, for sure. Nice when we're going to see you picking your whiskey. What's the next whiskey that I'm going to do? I'm actually going to do a rum. This is a rum that has been aged in charred oak barrels like whiskey or bourbon is. So that's going to be my next review on a bourbon or a whiskey. It's actually going to be a rum that is very delicious. I've already opened it. I've checked it out. So look out for the Undiscovered Country. So there you go, guys. There's a ton of indie books that people were talking about. Thanks for watching, guys. This is about an hour long. We'll see how it goes next week. Thank you for watching. As always, I'm Edwin, the Comic Jabroni. Have a great Friday. Have an awesome weekend. Stay tuned tonight. Perry Comics. He will be live on his show tomorrow, Coast to Coast. And then Tuesday, I may or may not be on Buyer Pass. I don't know yet, depending on my daughter's soccer practice, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace.